Well, hello. I promised you more Haslam system dress cutting, and guess what you're getting? More Haslam system of dress cutting. If you want to find out how to make the dress foundation, which you're going to need to make the coat, keep watching. Hello, and welcome to Killer Kitsch Lizzie, my weird little world where I like to knit and sew and do other crafty things. And today, as I promised, I'm going to show you how to make the front dress foundation. So you're going to need this to make the coat. And I'm going to show you step by step in the video, like the next clip is going to be me going through step by step on how to do the front foundation. Without further ado, let's get to that tutorial. Okay, so the front foundation, very, very similar to the back. You're going to want to tape your bodice piece to some Bristol board or poster board or whatever you're using. And make sure again that this is all lined up straight to the center back, or sorry, front center line in this case. Just gonna move this a little bit. And now we're going to be using our front template. Sorry, I'm just trying to do this so you can, there we go. I think that's better. And it's basically the exact same steps again that we did for the back. So you're going to measure from dot 3. Well, sorry, first from dot 5, you're going to measure at 1 inch. Make a dot. Then you're going to line your template up with dot 3. And you're going to, where are we here? Measure down 13 inches and line this up with at the 1 inch dot you made. And you're going to make a dot. And that's now dot 4. And then you're going to then, again, taking that, oh, sorry, I jumped ahead of myself. And you're going to mark here, that's dot 4. Sorry about that. Anyways. And then what you're going to do is, again, you're going to take that measurement, that hip measurement, plus 1 inch, and make this dot out here. That's dot 4. And then you're going to draw, my apologies, and then you're going to draw a dotted line. That is now your hip line. If I can get this thing to line up. There we go. Nope, get over there. Oops, and now we have our hip line. I should have marked this on my other one. I'll do that later. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a line from dot 5 to dot 4. And like the back piece, we're going to do our dart next. Just because, again, I prefer to get the top out of the way. So for this dart, you're going to measure in 2.5 inches. Just going to shift this a little bit. Okay, oh, I don't know, I just closed my marker. 2.5 inches, and you're going to make a dot. And then from that dot, you're going to measure over 3/4 of an inch this time. And make a dot. And like last time, find your center point. And then measure down 4.5 inches. And make a dot. And then you're going to connect the dots. That is the thing that I love about Haslam, is you're basically playing connect the dots. And we now have our dart. Ta-da! So what we're now going to do is, just like the back, you're going to get your measurement for how wide you want this to be. And in this case, it is your hip measurement and then 2.5 to 3 inches. But for the front, your hip measurement is plus an inch, so it is going to be slightly wider, and that's to compensate for the button band. So I've already, put a dot here, and then we're going to do that curve again. And in this case, we're coming up 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch, and I've come up 1/2 inch, and I made a dot. And then you're using corner 1 again. But in this case, you don't have to flip it over. So instances where you're going to have to flip this over is if you're using the front template on the back, or the back template on the front, you will have to flip it over to use it. But in this case, we're using the front template on the front, so we don't need to do that. And you're going to draw that curve. And that is the front piece. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. We have one last step. My apologies. Dot 4 to the top of that curve line, you're going to draw a line. I was just too excited that I got this done. I meant to do this tutorial ages ago, and I just I got busy with other things. But I did do the awesome Haslam Tiki capsule wardrobe, though, for everybody. So there we go. We now have the front dress foundation, which you're going to use for your coat. Okay, so you now have a full dress foundation for the front and the back, minus the sleeves, of course. I'm going to do those next. Also, in the future, near future, I'm also going to be doing foundation number 2. Then you have all of the foundations. This does get used occasionally. This gets used more, way more. And then I've had questions about if you have full figure. There is a full figure bodice over here if you want to do a full figure foundation. Okay, so let us move on to the sleeves. So similar to the dress foundations, I have done this out in pencil first because there was a bit of figuring out I had to do, so it will now save some time. You're still going to need your measurements because you're going to need your sleeve length, wrist, and elbow measurements. And For this, I'm going to go step by step through the instructions here, because there is a lot more drawing to do. And funnier, you're going to all find this fun, I hope, maybe slightly confusing. You're basically drawing this upside down, because you're starting up here and working your way that way. And again, I'm going to have to be shifting around as I go. And again, I apologize. It is how it is, because I don't have a big enough table. So yeah, make sure you also have a long enough piece of whatever you're using, Bristol board, paper, whatever. I had to tape a bit onto the bottom here so I could make it long enough. And I know this looks super long right now, but keep in mind that this is your, I know you can't see the pencil right now, but this is the sleeve head, right? So it won't be as long as you are looking at it right now. And even if it is too long, you can just shorten it, right? So, okay, so to get going, you need the template that has the sleeve arrow on it. You're going to see sleeve arrow. You're going to see the wrist and elbow measurement bits. This is the one you're using. All right, so let's get started. So in the camera, I think everything shows up as flipped. So this is my left hand and this is my right hand. So when I say left, I mean this hand, and when I say right, I mean this hand. So to begin, you're going to line up your template on the left-hand side, the left straight edge of your paper. And where it says sleeve 1, you're going to make a dot. And I like to put a check mark beside each of the instructions as I go. And then you're also going to put a dot at sleeve arrow 2, which is over here. You would have made a hole with your, oh, sorry, you can't see that. It's over here. And you would have made an arrow with, if you had an awl or, you know, a pencil or something. So make a dot there. And then you're also going to make a dot at sleeve 3, which is over here. And now we're going to label these dot 1, dot 2, and dot 3. Just going to mark those off. Then we're going to place sleeve arrow 1 back to dot 1. Oh, where are you? Now, this is going to be confusing for anyone who's bought a PDF template. The original templates, the red is actually yellow. So in the instructions says, place sleeve arrow 1 to dot 1, the yellow curve to touch dot 2, the second dot that you made. Oops, where did you go? No, that's not lined up anymore. So it's going to be red for you. Make sure that is lined up with dot 2. And draw a line. I just wish that whoever recreated this template because it seems like everyone has red on it. I've never seen yellow, and the only reason I know it was yellow is because I looked it up and found an original one and it was yellow. Because I sat there for a few minutes going, yellow? It's red. That's why. So what you're going to do is you're going to flip this over, and then you're going to line up the curve here. Where are you? So that it lines up with dot 3. Whoops. Oh, sorry, it's a little fiddly. And then you're going to continue that line. All right. You just got to fiddle with it till it lines up. So that is that one done. Then you're going to next place corner 6 to dot 1. So you're now going to place corner 6 to dot 1. Let's move that down a little bit. So corner 6 to dot 1. And you're going to draw a dotted line from dot 1 to whatever your sleeve length is. So you're going to take that on from your measurement chart. Where is that? So your measurement chart will have sleeve length. In my case, it's 18.5 inches. So then you're going to draw a dotted line from dot 1 down. Like you're going to measure first, right? Measure for 18.5 or whatever your measurement is. In my case, it was 18.5 inches. And you're going to make sure that this is straight. Like you don't want a crooked line, you want a straight line down. So make sure that this lines up straight with your paper. And draw, whoops, in my case I'm drawing on the template, and draw a dotted line. Oh, jeez. Trying to keep this like from moving around. All the way down to whatever you measure your arm length to be. And that also becomes dot 4. So go ahead and mark that. Always make sure you're marking your dots so that you know what they are, like label them, I mean. And then what you're going to do is you're going to measure what the halfway point is here. And you're going to make a dot. And you're going to call that dot 5. Okay, we're going to mark that off. So next you're going to place the elbow arrow on dot 5, which is down here. Place that on dot 5. Oh, I'm going to turn this sideways for this part. It just might be a bit easier for you to see it. So we have dot 5 here. So line up the elbow arrow to dot 5. And again, try to keep this as straight as possible, because I know this is curved and it makes it confusing. And then what it says is make a dot at your elbow measurement. And in my case, I'm a 13.5, but the measurement goes 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So whatever you measured for yours, go ahead and put a dot there. Now it says for long coats, make the dot 1/2 inch to the right. So what it says for this is if you're doing a long coat, to make a dot 1/2 inch to the right of that, which I've already done that. And now we're going to mark that as dot A. So next you're going to put corner 4 to dot 5. And just below it, there's a thing that says sleeve bend, and there's an arrow. So you're going to make a dot there. And you're going to label that dot B. And then from dot B, you're going to draw a line all the way over to dot A. And that'll be a solid line. Then we're going to draw a dotted line from dot 3 to dot A. So dot 3 is up here. It's at the bottom of that curve there. So you're going to line up your template to dot A. And then you're going to draw a dotted line. I always end up with so much marker on my hands when I'm finished. This is crazy. And then I try not to touch my face, because then sometimes it gets transferred to my face, and yeah, it's not pretty. Okay, and then you have that dotted line. Hopefully my head was not in the way. Okay, so we're now back at dot B. So you're going to be turning it this way. You're flipping it over because you want a curve to go in. So I marked on the back here K. So you're going to line up K to dot B. And then you're going to line up until it meets dot 4. And then we're going to draw a line. Well, I'm going to start at dot 4 just because it's easier for me, but you're drawing a line between dot B and dot 4. You might not be able to see this, so I'm just going to, so K. And you're going to do the same from dot B to dot 1. So in this case, you're lining it up with dot 1. Oh no, no, sorry, my apologies. You're lining up K to dot B, but you're flipping it back around the other way again. So you're lining up K to dot B down here, and then you're doing the same. You're just drawing a line from dot B to dot 1. Oops. Because you want a curve, that inner curve. Okay, so next we're gonna, I had to turn it sideways again just so it's easier to see it. So dot 4 is down here. So it was facing this way. I've turned it this way. So dot 4 is here. So on your back template, you're gonna line up elbow arrow to dot 4. And again, try to keep this as straight as possible. And then you're gonna, oh, it's not lined up there. And then you're going to, there, that's straight. And then you're going to go to your wrist measurement. And in my case, it was 9. And you're gonna make a dot. So for a coat, it says to make the dot 1/2 inch to the right. Or if you're doing a long coat, you're going to do 1 inch to the right. So what I've done is I've then created another dot 1 inch to the right. Oh, sorry, 1 inch to the right. And I marked that as dot C. Actually, it's going to get cut off otherwise. There we go, dot C. And then what you're going to do is you're going to draw a straight line from dot 4 to dot C. I'm just going to turn this back this way. And then you're going to draw a line from dot C to dot A. Alrighty. So next we're going to measure in 2 inches from dot 3 and put a mark. And that's going to be called dot D. And then you're also going to measure down 1/4 inch, which I already did, actually, sorry. This is the dot. So you're going to measure in 2 inches and mark it, and then you're going to go down 1/4 inch, and then you're going to mark that dot D. Then from dot A, you're going to measure in 1.5 inches. So 1.5 inches from dot A. And you're going to put a mark, and that's going to be on the elbow line. Actually, I should mark that elbow line. So anyways, you're going to put a dot, and you're mark that dot E. Like as I said before, it's making a bunch of dots and then joining the dots. Now, if you're going to do a long coat, you're going to go in 1 1/4 inches, which is what I did. I went in 1 1/4 inches. Otherwise, if you're just making a long coat, you're going to do 1.5 inches. I mean, sorry, if you're just going to do a dress, it's 1.5 inches. A long coat is 1 1/4 inches. Then from dot C, you're going to, oh, where are we here? So for dot C, you're going to measure in 1 1/4 inches, but if it's a long coat, you're going to do 1/2 inch, which is what I did. I only measured in 1/2 inch, and you're going to call that dot F. So I measured in 1/2 inch. I marked it, and then I called it .f. So next you're gonna mark, okay, so this is hard to see, I noticed on a lot of these templates, it's faded out, but it's just to the right of the broad arrow. It's called the 1/2 inch arrow. It is sometimes hard to see on these templates. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna line that up with .1. And then you're gonna line it up with the new dot. Oh, sorry, you're gonna line it up with .d. There's not a new one yet. You're gonna line it up with .d. Oh, it's not lined up, hold on. And then you're gonna draw a dotted line all around that curve. And just to remind you, dotted lines mean temporary lines because they're used as a base to measure out from. Okay, so keeping the template in place, line shifted a little bit, you're then going to measure down 3/8 of it. Oh, it moved again. You're going to measure down from the bottom of E arrow down 3/8 of an inch. In the direction that the arrow is pointing. Oh, stop moving. Here we go. And you can put a dot. Then you're going to shift E arrow down. So it touches the new dot. And then you're going to line your template up with .1. And you're going to draw a line, a solid line this time. Then you're going to, from .d, you're going to measure out in, sorry, you're going to measure in 2 inches. So .d, you're going to measure in 2 inches. And you're going to put a dot. So measure in 2 inches and put a dot. And then now, again, with that E arrow lined up, like the arrow is lined up at the dot there, line this template up with the new dot that you just made and continue that line. So now you have a new curve. So next we're going to draw a straight dotted line from this new dot D basically down to dot E. And if you're doing this, and this is the beauty of these drawings, I should throw this in here. If you're looking at this and you're like, you're reading these instructions because they can be confusing, refer to the illustration because it will help you sort of visualize what it is you need to do. And a lot of the times I am a visual person too. I can read the instructions, but if I visually can see something, I'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. So yeah, so that dot, the new dot that we just made, we're gonna do a dotted line down to dot E. Alrighty, and then we're going to draw a solid line from dot E to dot F. Well, there we go. So next what we're going to do is these two upper lines, the two dotted lines that we have drawn up here, measure each of them and find the center point. So you know, the first one is dot A to dot 3, which is 14.5 inches, so you're going to put a dot at 7.25. And then from dot E to the new dot D is 13 inches, so we're going to put a dot at, where are we here, 7.5 inches. So these are your center lines, or they're the center parts of the line. And then what you're going to do is you're going to measure out, because we're going to be doing curves. So you're going to make a dot 3/4 of an inch out, or if you're doing a long coat, it's going to be 1/2 inch out. And what I've done is I have come out 1/2 inch. So I came out 1/2 inch on both of those. And then it doesn't tell you, you know, doesn't give you a arrow or anything to use, but what they just basically want you to do is line up the template the best you can. Move that down a bit, so that you're now drawing a curved line from dot 3 to dot A on one of them. And then from dot D to dot E on the other one. And what I was doing is I was just lining up corner 4 and then just, you know, lining the rest of the template up with the other dot. It just made it easier for me. And it gave me a nice curve. Okay, so we're almost done. So next we're going to finish the sleeve head. They call it the top sleeve curve. So for that you're going to make a dot 3/4 of an inch above dot 2. So that's up there. And, oh, sorry, and if you're doing a long coat, as in my case, it's 1 inch. And then you're going to place the broad arrow to this dot and complete the curve. So that's this here, the broad arrow. So you're going to place it at the dot, and then you're going to draw a line from dot 1 to the broad arrow. And make sure that you draw all over your template. And then again, you're going to put the broad arrow at dot 3. Oh, sorry, you're going to flip it. My apologies, you're going to flip it, and again, you're going to line the broad arrow up with the dot and dot 3. And you now have the coat sleeve template. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I hope you found it useful. And hopefully you will also make your own 1940 style coat. Now, you don't need to use these templates just for 1940 style coat. You can use it for any of the Haslam projects. And as I mentioned, probably during the tutorial, I believe, you don't have to just use the foundation for a coat. Like, that can be used for a dress, skirt, suit jackets, you name it. There's a lot of uses for the dress foundation. So if you want more Haslam, give me a thumbs up. Mention below maybe what other projects you want me to delve into. I love, 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 love Haslam system of dress cutting, and I am more than happy to continue with other projects. I do already have a few things planned for this year. There is definitely going to be more Haslam. I only did my first year on YouTube 1, and then last year I did the Tiki Holiday Capsule Wardrobe with Haslam. But this year I'm going to be delving into even more, because you can use the system to make clothes that are actually going to fit your body. So yes, again, let me know below if there is something you want that I have not mentioned. That is, of course, within the Haslam system of dress cutting. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. I would love to have you as part of my channel. And until next time, stay kitschy.